Everybody, and welcome back. See, everyone knows where they stand. Poor Dwayne got himself a participation ribbon, and that is about it. Guess everyone else that drops in after this is just going to get a certificate of being acknowledged. Yep, you were here. What is up, Mr. Jenner, Waylon, and Semper? Everybody else, how's it all going tonight? We're going to do a little bit of flax harvesting, pea harvesting, and lentil harvesting tonight. At least that's the plan. I went ahead and got the rest of this field one waft down. Now we're making our 2 rounds around the field. I want to show you all after the intro how I ended up swapping it. Rabbit Rob, what is up? Farmer G is just all over the YouTube today. Tell you what, I've got a question. I want to try this YouTube Q&A thing here. See if we can't get it figured out. Tried to set up a Q&A before the stream started, but it wouldn't work. So let's see if I can get it started now. All right, let's see if this works. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Do y'all see that? Raphael, what's up? I don't know if you click on that or how it all works. Have you ever seen how it works? I don't know how it works. It's like I can ask you a question, but then it's like you can ask me questions, and then I guess answer them, but it's a whole different chat tab. So I don't really know how it all works. What made me think about it was earlier today I had opened up a can of honey roasted peanuts and snacking on those this afternoon, and then a little bit later I opened up a little bag of pistachios. Of course, those you gotta work for them. You gotta crack them out of the shell. Avery, welcome. we go. We made our... one circuit around. Then do our second circuit. Peter, welcome. Ha ha ha. Today I saw Reese's peanut butter cup that had, instead of chocolate, had peanut butter chocolate on the outside. That was maybe a little bit too much peanut butter there. I am well. I am well. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out this Q&A thing. Bergdus is here. Let's get on them beets. I'm sure you got beets to harvest. So you see, you saw us do the up and downs on this side of the field. And then I decided to do, which way are we going here? I decided to do east-west runs through the rest of the field. Oh, you got enough beets saved up to skip a whole year? You're not making sugar anymore? Well, what is up? How's it going? Welcome back, Double Feature Day indeed. We're doing this because tomorrow, you're not going to have anything tomorrow from me. I don't know when we're rolling out of here, but we are rolling out of here tomorrow to get ready for the wife's surgery. And then we won't be back till Wednesday. At least that's the plan right now. We'll have my laptop with me. We'll have another monitor. I'll have a Stream Deck. I'll have my mod mic. Everything I need to do a map recording, if a map recording is needed. Of course, you can never count on hotel Wi-Fi or hotspot bandwidth, so no streaming is planned. Rio Gaming, what is up? What is up? Now, it's gotta be a real nut. It's gotta be a real nut. Not a person nut. everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Edgewater, the map that has taken the internet by storm. We've got multiplayer server over on the Discord channel actually running this map right now. Mr. Jeaner's running that one. It is a server funded by Mr. Jeaner himself. Thank you very much, sir. Talger with the 21-month membership. Hot dog. Welcome, sir. Thank you for the continued support. We've got a Q&A question today. What's your favorite nut? And it cannot be a person. It has to be a legit nut. Thought we'd start over here on our flax field. I want to show you how I ended up swathing the whole field. I ended up doing east-west runs on the entire field after we took the 2 rounds around it. Carter, will you give a shout out? You don't have to ask for it. All you gotta do is chat. We'll say hey. Is that 100,000 trees? Is that what you have written there? 100,000 trees? That there, sir, is a lot of trees. Well, Avery, that is exactly what made me think of that today. As I had said earlier, I had gotten a can of salted honey roasted peanuts. I guess not salted, just honey roasted peanuts. And I was snacking on those earlier. And then I had also gotten these 2 small bags of shelled pistachios. And I opened one of those up earlier. Cashews. There we go. Slow it up. Ah, we'll get this thing unloaded. We got peanuts, we got cashews, we got almonds. Nobody's listing walnuts. We don't have any health nuts that are saying they like pine nuts or whatever. Walnuts, not Walmart. Although sometimes the folks at Walmart are nuts. Macadamia nuts. How about chocolate nuts? That's my favorite, chocolate nuts. No, Rabbit Rob, that's artificial seafood. Artificial seafood. M&Ms are not nuts. Jeez. M&Ms are not nuts. Only the peanut M&Ms. Do they have cashew M&Ms? I saw the Super Bowl commercial where they said they're back. How about pecans? You can have a nut pie. Whatever happened to the Budweiser frogs? Those were the best ones. Right? That was back in the day. Kenny the Vehicle. They got wiser for sure. They're like, we're not being paid enough. It's like the Target commercials with the dog. Whatever happened to those? Simulator YouTuber, what are you asking? What the ideas? I don't follow the question. There we go. Oh, everybody knows Rabbit Rob. He's like Norm on Cheers. Right? Rabbit Rob is like Norm on Cheers. Everybody knows his name. What's the idea of the machine? You mean this fancy header? The idea of the header is to collect the crop in a gentile manner, thus reducing yield loss or reducing crop loss as a result of rough handling. The crop is first mowed and laid down in a semi-green state, allowed to dry in the field. Then after it has dried to a substantial level, you come around with this header and it gently picks it up off of the field and then runs it through the harvester. And in theory, you can reclaim more grain that way than through a traditional header after the crop's kind of dried in the field. Once it gets into the harvester, then it's pretty much the same as a traditional harvest. It is a feature of this map. Yes, it is. The map has to be prepared so that the crops will do this. So what we're doing right now is we swathed the flax earlier with a swather. Basically, we mowed it, basically. And now we're coming through and collecting the windrow with the harvest header here, the pickup header. And we are leaving flax straw on the ground that we can then come through later and collect with a baler or collect with a forage wagon. And then for the Edgewater map, we can take our flax straw over to the spinnery and they will make fabric from the flax straw. We learned earlier today that flax fabric is linen. While linen may be made through other means as well, any fabric made from flax is linen. Indeed, about the only thing that's consistent across the world is that English-speaking people refer to farmers as farmers. Farming practices are vastly different, not only in different countries, but often drastically different in different areas of the same country. Weather is different, the seasons are different, and as such, farming has adapted to all sorts of methods. One, did you buy it? random. And then once you buy it, it just activates. It just works. That's all I had to do when I was doing the map tour was just buy it. And then as time goes by, it just produces. They're fairly inexpensive. I think that one might be like 20,000. Oh, for the fertilizer, no, you can't buy that one. For the solid fertilizer and lime, that is only a buy point. That is not a production point. The only two that you can buy are seed and liquid fertilizer and herbicide. Because if we go here into the build mode, under tools, you'll see here the chemical shed. This building can be used for buying liquid fertilizer and herbicide. It also has production. The seed also says it also has production. But the fertilizer shed does not say that. It just says used for buying fertilizer and lime. So once we fill this harvester up, we're gonna jump over and start working on some lentils. At least I think they're lentils. Maybe they're peas, I don't know. Shifting gears, welcome. I don't know, I've got a contract for lentils, I've got a contract for peas. We've obviously done Flax. I've got a nice ideal 10T over at our other field. That was a harvester that was at the farm machinery show. So I got a good up close look at that one. And I was looking at the 10T in game. And I think it's scaled right. Maybe we're a little tall, but it's not scaled too bad, because I remember the tracks basically being higher than you know, a full-grown adult male standing next to them. And that's how they are modeled in game. There we go. While we wait for that, this video is brought to you by Bad Habit 99 and Jamberry. Thank you for being farm barons. You know what? You know what he needs? Jacer. Schultz needs one of these. Although I think this is smaller. I think this is smaller than the real one I saw. That's what he needs. He needs one of those. Oh boy. Oh yeah, here we are. What is this? This is a, oh, here's a field of peas. Here's our field of peas. We got a field, not a field of dreams. A field of peas. I don't know anyone that loves peas. Who loves peas? But I was looking at this and yep. Okay, there we go. Boom. The track is taller than we are. Yep, this thing is ginormous. There's no pea straw, that's for sure. The wife, Avery, the wife calls them little snot balls. I mean, I'll eat them, but they're not on the list of buy at the grocery store. Joey, I assume you're talking about the yield, 100% yield, with or without precision farming. I did a video, it's in the how-to playlist on demystifying the yield, and it basically ran through everything you needed to do in order to get 100% yield. Because you didn't mulch. You didn't mulch. Like I said, I got a video all about demystifying the 100% yield. You have to mulch the previous crop. I have to say, I've never had mashed peas. I'm not really sure how they harvest peas in real life. Somehow I imagine it to be a different process than this. this is a super big and irregular field. We're gonna do it in chunks. We're just going to make our way across the field. We got the idea with ideal drive. That's where we drive with the joysticks, as opposed to having a steering wheel. I like it because it opens up the whole cab for visibility. I thought peas were green in color. Who all is farming on Edgewater? So you can see the joystick. That's how we turn with ideal drive. So we're going to section off this top part of the field. Then we'll work our way down. I don't know what color that is. Those are white peas, maybe. Ideal drive is an option on the ideal harvesters. And what it does is it removes the steering wheel. So you can see there's the regular wheel. Or we can go to ideal drive and it puts a joystick over here. And you steer with the joystick with ideal drive. So that's what this one's set up with. So if you like to do in-cab driving and stuff, right, you might prefer ideal drive because you just get a better view of what's going on. You don't have that pesky wheel and column in the way. Stefan, yes, lots of folks are excited about the map finally being released. Glad you're going to have an opportunity to play on it. So, Will, you're saying we might be testing a map by the end of the week, you're saying? I think that's what I'm hearing. I had come through earlier and harvested a couple passes with the smaller harvester. So we're just cleaning up here. I suspect it's possible that the map author used soybeans as a basis for the peas. Square this off. Hey, that gleaner was huge. I saw Schultz is using a gleaner. Love to see more of those make their way into the mod hub. Hola buds, welcome. How's it going? There we go. Well, my guess the pickup header would be pretty low power. I mean, all it's doing is running a couple belt and the auger. Right, there's no cutter bar there. There's nothing really to deal with. Mark, yes, I saw that, and I just didn't comment initially, and then completely forgot about commenting. Thank you for that. Well, you know, we always hope we always hope that we'll get things like peanuts. We know we're going to get some more, or we believe we're going to get some more root crops in Phase 5 of the Year 2 Season Pass. Possibly carrots, other tuber style crops, possibly. So one can always wish and hope for things like peanuts. I think spring is right around the corner. We had a little bit of a false spring earlier this week. It was nearly 80 degrees on Thursday. Now I think it's mid-30s and raining. Oh, lollipop, they're not that bad. Just kind of work them slowly and work them methodically. You'll get a rhythm. So, for example, this field, which we are in the midst of collecting our harvest, I did 2 headlands around this part and around this part, right? And then this field, I went east and west to this point, and then I went north and south to finish it off. This field, after I did my 2 passes all the way around, I went north and south here till I got to this point, and then I went east and west, and I actually continued east and west all the way through here. Now, for field 8, which isn't too terrible bad, we're just working east and west. We kind of section it off to here, as you can see. And then we're going to come and probably do 2 headland passes around, and then just continue east and west through here. And then we have this. This field's abomination. I suspect we'll go east-west till we get to about here. And then we'll go and probably work this leg. And then we'll probably continue east-westing through here. And then try to pick up this section. Farmer G, when you have the modding skills, right? Sometimes modding skills mean you do too much work. But for fields like this, I would always advocate doing at least 2 headlands around the perimeter of the field. And then just kind of look at the field and figure out which way will work best. And in theory, I mean, now I could, after I did the headlands of the bottom part, I could hire a helper. They would easily do the entire field east to west without any issue. I was a little surprised Honeybee didn't have that big of a booth, a presence at the farm show. But I definitely know what I'm going to be doing while I'm at the hotel now. I'm going to be working on Edgewater. Yeah, they were showing off their... They were showing off the header's Flax capability. I think that was the big talking point. At least that was the discussion when I was swinging by. I didn't realize MacDon had swathers. They had a pretty good swather there. It actually had a windrowing belt underneath of it to take the grass or whatever you were cutting and shoot it out the side. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the fast baler is going to work great for just about anything, right? The ability to not have to stop is you know, monumental. When that came out in 19 with the Vicon DLC, like that literally sold, who knows how many DLCs that one piece of kit sold. I suspect it was a lot. Well, Schultz, I added the I added them, but they don't hold the new crops. So I can't harvest and use them for peas, flax, or lentils. So yeah, I put them in here. I was going to mess with them, but they don't hold the crops. Rio Gaming, what's up? Yeah, it's probably named fill types. That's right, Tukey. That's right. I am spreading pee all over the place. Because I thought, oh, I could, yeah, I could get this and mess around with this thing. Figure out if I needed to use this or not. And get a trailer, right? Toy around with that. And then grab a container. And toy around with that. But when I looked at the fill types, I'm like, oh. So if I really wanted to put some effort into it, I could have changed it, but well, no, that's not what I was going to do. Schultz is off the hook. What? You're taking responsibility away from him? No. I mean, if you see a truck upside down, it's pretty much Tukey was here. Right? It is easy enough to add them, but I just call me weird. I just got a general policy where I try to not to use things that aren't globally available. Obviously, when you're doing map testing or previewing something for somebody, that's a little different story. But generally, I want to make sure that whatever I'm using is available for others. So the idea of tweaking it so it would work for me to do on this map with the crops I wanted to harvest never really occurred to me because it's just outside what I want to be doing. I don't want to be that guy that always uses something that's not available. What is up? Welcome back. Somebody might have to be that guy, but it won't be me. I think Screw's Workbench landed on a name. On a good name. You know, something like Power Chair Workbench just doesn't work so good. Or what's that? Rascal? The Rascal? Rascal Workbench? That just doesn't work out so good. So we're making pretty good work of this field. I mean, it starts getting narrower down here. This one will be the fun one. This one must be Lentil then. Oh, you think? You think Rascal's workbench will be better? Uh-oh, Mark, Farmer G may have figured you out. There's no more anonymity anywhere. Are we gonna make it? I don't think we're gonna make it. It would be nice as if there was some sort of collective or uniformity in additional crop types. Alright, we just need to go out here to the main road and hang a right. Okay. Because we're going up to the diner. I don't know why the diner is ordering all these peas and lentils. You know, like a style guide, like if you're going to be adding carrots to a map, then carrots need to have these values, this fill type name, these characteristics. All of that. I must have. This is the first time I've signaled in like years. It's like, you know, if someone does anhydrous, but they go and make up their own fill type for it, then other people are like, oh, well, I can't use these mods on this map because it doesn't work. Or I can't use this mod on this other map because it doesn't work. I know DJ modding with respect to his dried corn and his anhydrous and everything, tried to make it compatible with other known mods of those fill types. That was a deliberate effort to do so. Sometimes it can't be done because things are being developed at the same time, but yep, exactly. But I mean, overall, if you somewhat base your new fill type, your new crop on the naming standards that you see with respect to other in-game fill types, that can somewhat alleviate the issue. Categories are much better because, again, if someone makes a new build type, as long as they put it in the appropriate category, then everything and anything out there that's set up to work with that particular category would just automatically work, right? But when you name everything out individually, then anytime there's something new, well, you got to update it to include that name. And I guess there's always the risk of a log error because of a fill type not existing that's been named out. Well, probably because cotton doesn't have a category, right? It's too unique with its bale shape or bale size. That's what I try to get across at work with the folks that work for me is to when they set up things, to try to set it up in a fashion that will be automated to where things just work. So standardized naming schemes for computers, standardized naming schemes for user types. We have a specific attribute, we put a user type in, and then I can assign licenses based on user type. So when someone's type changes from one thing to the next, then their licensing parameters can just automatically change. You don't have to go in and manually change things. It's kind of like the Ronco. Set it and forget it. The edge of this field is really, really wonky. That one track is loading sometimes. Right, yeah. Specifically with loose cotton, we've got a mod for it. Right, there's a mod that introduces the ability to do loose cotton. There was no real in-game provision for cotton to be loose, I guess. Tell you one thing though, and some folks picked up on the announcement of Farm Sim 23, the mobile and Switch game. Giants toward the end of that press release mentioned that Farm Sim 23, the mobile and Switch farming game that's coming out in May, it would introduce autoload for logs and pallets in the mobile game, which really begs the question, when will we see that trickle down into FS22? Or will we ever see it trickle down into 22? Will it be a function of whatever comes after 22? FS25 maybe. It would probably require a script Schultz, but I suspect you could have the mod that makes the ability for you to do loose cotton, add loose cotton to a category. Well, we know 1.9 will add bale and pallet warehouses or storage. Well, Mark, we know kind of that the holy grail of autoload for console players is log autoload. Right, we have log autoload on PC. It seems like that requires a script because honestly, consoles have autofill. They don't really have autoload, and you can't fill wood from a log into something else. That's why you've never seen an auto filling log trailer. But it's an opportunity, I think, that they could bring it in. Oh, does the mobile game auto attach? I think the last farm sim game mobile game I played was maybe FS13. I don't know. It was a free game. I know that. I don't think it was 16. It definitely wasn't 20. And now we'll just work through this. And since I've done this, and we have the area is getting narrower, what I'm going to do is when this trailer is full, I'm going to actually, I need to move this harvester down here and start working this way. Because the hired helper will work better this way than this way. Because the hired helper works better when the field is getting wider as opposed to narrower. If it gets narrow, they might get to like this point and say, oh, we're done, work's done, because it doesn't realize that there's more down here. But if the field is always getting wider as it works its way up, it'll be less inclined to stop. Let's head down here and get this thing started. Kind of wondered how the controls works on mobile. I suspect it's like any other mobile driving game. There's a left and a right, and a brake and a gas. But then you have, like, you know, raise, lower, start, stop. Maybe it does all that automatically. There we go. All right, now we got him working. Let's go back over here to our flax field. We need to wait for our pea field to get done, and then we can go do our lentils. Liberty! I am doing fine this evening. Doing fine. Of course, we have a fancy baler. We were doing an all yellow session this earlier today. You were here. You named it Swarthy. They are just crops. They're just cash crops. There's no in-map production for lentils or peas. So right now we're doing this contract, nearly $17,000 for 86% done. We've got $33,000 to do lentils. Again, to the fast food restaurant. We should be in a pretty good position with respect to our flax fabric. We made a bunch of bales earlier today, and the spinnery only took a few of them before it filled up. So we can make a lot more money off of flax fabric than we can off of flax straw. Although I do need to put down a sell point that buys fabric. Let's see here. We've got the Silver Run Market. They buy fabric? They should. Why are you not doing your thing? Supermarket buy fabric? Come on. No. That should buy fabric. No. What the heck? I guess I'll have to go find a mod that lets me sell fabric. This should be like a thrift store mod. A mod that's a consignment shop. There you go. A consignment shop mod that lets you sell everything at it. If someone would make a mod that lets you sell everything, and it would be a consignment shop, that would be awesome. Or better yet. All right, everybody hold on, because this idea is pure money. That's right, you can take this one to the bank. We need a pawn shop mod. And the pawn shop mod takes everything and anything. Pure money, right there. Right there. Slap it right there. I am the master. Yep, that's it. That idea is so awesome. Well, we got the cops after us now. Ah, well, that is it. We call it the landfill. Maybe every so often we can have an AI car just drive into the hole. They can drive off a cliff and vanish. What's up, Bills, bub? The map that was a deliberate joke. Got so many folks bent out of shape. It's like, come on, people. Has Hatebook done so much to you that you can't take a joke? Carrie, what is up, big old X-Men Racer X? That was a fun cartoon. I remember Speed Racer X. Right, that was a car that did it all before Kit. Oh, I don't know anything about Cowboy X. We are nearly 100% on our pea harvester. That should fill up that trailer. Then we'll be darn close to completing that contract. So Schultz is saying we can, there's a mod out there that lets you put it down and it'll let you sell anything, and then apparently you can rename it. So we could rename it to Pawn Stars if we wanted to. That would be cool. Alrighty, here we go. You know what? I wonder if peas are like soybeans when you try to clean them out of the grain bin. It's like walking on little ball bearings. look like garbanzo beans. I'm sure there's folks over on Chilliwack. Those crazy people, they never get enough of that. I think they're addicted to it. Carrie's cheating. What? What are you doing? How are you cheating? Simper, did I see that you're going to be trying to make plans to come to the farm show from the Great North? See if we can run down this blue truck. This blue truck is speeding. I tell you what, if there's any chance, I would book your room with a service that made sure that you could, you know, cancel without any penalty. Because when the main hotels fill up, the smaller hotels will open up their reservations and jack their rates. I booked my room for next year last week when I got back, and I'm going to say $400, and I'm staying at a better hotel. And that place, I can cancel my reservation up to like 3 days before the event next year and not have a fee. Oh, I know, Schultz, right? Like 22 came out. I haven't looked at 19. I uninstalled it. So I use the website booking.com. They have lots of the availability to do reservations without any cancellation fee. Just want to make sure when you book it that there is no cancel fee. They don't require anything down. Tell you what, I forgot to look here. 98%. %, almost done. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go now. it was interesting because I was like, oh, I'll just stay at the same place and see if I can get a cheaper rate. The hotel I stayed at didn't even have reservations open for that weekend yet. And that's what made me realize what's going on. Is the big hotels, you can book a room, right? The smaller hotels around the area, they won't let you book a room now. It's too far out. They don't allow reservations. I'm sure they're going to wait until the big hotels are booked up. Then when they're booked up, they will open up reservations with a jacked rate. Now, the one I stayed at really wasn't all that bad. It was within walking distance of the exhibition hall, which was nice. I didn't have to pay for parking. But if you're already going to walk like 15 miles over the course of 4 days, I think driving to the event is okay. Apparently the pickup head doesn't get dirty, or it gets dirty much slower than everything else. It's got a little bit of dirt on it, but it definitely looks weird compared to the harvester. Mr. Jeter, are you full up? Are you full up on the crossplay server? I know slot counts are slot counts a big concern. Where'd you get the gleamer? That's what I was curious on. Oh. Is that linked over in the harvesters category? Or field work or whatever it is? Oh, he's doing the final pass. Nice. There we go. Peas are done. For the sake of brevity. Oh, look at this. Here we are. These guys are short. Lentils aren't very tall. No straw for lentils. Artemis, what's up? Welcome. Ryan, what is up? Schultz could drop a link to Pleasant View in the chat. If anybody wants to click over there. There it is. There's so many modders, it's like, I don't know, I can't keep up with anything. Wondering if these are going to look kind of like the peas. They kind of look like the peas now. I'm going to run the semi-trailer over here. We're going to put lentils in the back because they go to the same place. I wish more people, I wish more American modders would focus on interiors. Remember back in 17 and even in 19, you would see a truck, let's say a pickup. A pickup or a semi was famous for this. If someone would release a pickup or a semi mod, it would look absolutely stunning from the outside. you try to do you jump inside to drive it, and it was like nothing. It's like, what? Where's the inside? Yield is super low on lentils. I don't know if it's because this field is unfertilized and everything, or what. Yeah, I mean, there are a fair bit of, I guess, always up and behind players. So lentils are like soybeans, low yield, high price. Yeah, we're working this section, and then we'll come up here and work probably, like I said earlier, this section. I think right then the yield rate was way low on this because it's completely unfertilized and everything then. It's a really short plant. I can't zoom any further, but it does look a lot like the peas do. It's not gonna tell me anything, see? Other than 64%. I need to check out that site after after this ends. I guess Bill's above is to give you plenty of opportunity to earn money with fertilizing contracts. It's going to take quite a long time to fill this harvester up. Seems like that's what you're saying. Yeah, well, when I loaded this this save game up, like everything, nearly everything on the map was ready to harvest. It was crazy. So it gave you pretty much no opportunity to do anything. We've already harvested this one and this one, but you can see a lot of this stuff is still ready to harvest. I was really glad to see that this map had, with starting crop, your new crops. Gives a player the ability to immediately start harvesting those new crops and experience those new crops. It can be frustrating when you've got new crops but there's nothing to do with them when you load up. Yeah, slot counts are a burden, right? But when you don't have a slot count, it's so easy to overload with stuff. Like Chilliwack was crazy insane. I think it's a little better now that some people are off of it, but it was crazy insane the amount of stuff out there. That's right, Bill Bub. The shadow always knows. The shadow knows everything. Well, Jacer, it's still good that the there's a regular crew over there, right? Free ad. Well, I mean, explanation G Portal. I think that'll put up an ad. I've been impressed with their service over the last few months. For probably 5 years, maybe, I had been using a different dedicated server host, and it was probably pretty much the only server host that I had used, so it's kind of my only experience, and it was okay. But I realized that they were the amount of games that they support was dropping significantly. They used to have a very large catalog of games, but now it's like 6 or less. And the G Portal catalog of games is vast and ever growing. I think one time I tried to count them, I got over to 100 and stopped counting. And I wasn't anywhere as close to being done the list. Right now we've got 2 Farm Sim servers through them. We've got an ATS server and a Seta Corso Competizione server. Which reminds me, I need to check later to make sure that the ATS server doesn't need any sort of mod update for tomorrow night's convoy night. I won't be available, but others will, I suspect, be convoying on their own. And they allow 25 gigs of mod space. Which may come into play quite handily when we are working on a less than fully optimized Emerald Coast for testing. Tuki might be there. Tuki likes to crash things. The largest file size is probably 25 gigs. That's the max mod space. One thing I really like about their service is the fact that we have, I've got 2 servers that are using 16 slots. I basically have bought 16 slots for Farm Sim server or servers, and I can run as many servers as I want as long as my total slot count is 16 or less. So we had the Chilliwack server set up with 10 slots, I think, which left 6. And when some folks moved off of Chill, I dropped that back a little bit. I think I dropped it back to 8 now. And the UMRV server is set to 8. So I was able to spin up a 8-person UMRV server and not really have to worry about any additional charges because of the fact that we had already basically set up a 16 slot allowance, if you will. Cookie still got the crud. Well, it took quite a while to get some of those maps in 19 down to fighting weight. I think the max upload for most Farm Sim web servers is like 1.7 gigs, even though they say 1.4. And some of those maps, in order to get it down to that weight, you had to rip some things out and make them kind of external mods. I don't know, M9, if he did or not. I don't know if he did or not. Yeah, well, just about every house is different. You can't really save on space there. There we go, we got the bottom section of this field done. Now let's cut this field. Given the low yield, I could probably really make a long run. Let's see here. What What could we say to make that a true statement? I never overturned a truck in ATS. Nope. That's not valid. I've never overturned a truck in Farm Sim. Nope. That's not valid. I've never overturned a truck in Forza Horizon 5. Nope. That's not valid. I've never overturned a truck in City Skylines. That might be a valid statement. That might be a valid statement. Oh, yeah. I've never overturned a truck in SnowRunner. Nope, that's not valid. It's the end of day... It's the end of day 3. Yeah, it's the end of day 3. Day 4 is of the Western Hall. And that one we close out outside, looking at the big case harvester, giving our farewell to the show, to the city. Been a really cool local dive hamburger joint. They sell Kool-Aid there. You can get your hamburger and a 20-ounce tub. I say tub because it's not a cup. It's like got a flat lid on it. A 20-ounce tub of Kool-Aid. So now we will, we're going to loop around this. And we'll work this area. And then we'll work down here. And take that out. And then we'll work over here. Oh yeah, this one was in a residential area. There was no parking other than street parking, just like the people that live on the street. So, right, depending on who's home, depends on how far you have to walk to get inside. There's seating where it's basically a front room and a back room. I remember one of their specials was a hamburger or cheeseburger and a beer during happy hour for $10. They had a really good, had some sort of southern burger that had like fried onions on it, chili, bacon, cheese. Could have been. Could have been someone's home. I know when we go back next year, definitely going to hit that place up one night. Thursday night, kids eat free. Right? Remember those restaurants? That's where you have a listing on the fridge. Which night, which restaurants are kids eat free nights? And then you're like, okay, nobody feels like cooking. What night is it? And which restaurant has kids eat free night? That's where we're going. Well, Will, I think what we're going to be doing is we're going to be covering the show next year also. So we'll just we'll be the guy that covers the show, and people can go to the show vicariously. I know, Artemis, right? Figure out which night, which restaurant serves free kids. But they also let you write, write on the walls. It's like it reminds me of a like a local college joint. College kids show up and just kind of write junk on the walls, hang out for hours on end. Oh, I know. And there was some Euro stuff here that still had the Euro placards on it. I know Darren goes a little crazy about all the Euro placards on stuff. And then I get back from the show, I go to work, and this week, what do I see? I see a local farmer that has a John Deere out front the lane for sale. But that's not the part of the story that's important. Attached to the front of it was a Krone mower. A 3-point front mower was attached to the front. And you're like, look at that. I'd like to see McHale in the game. Officially. That's some nice looking stuff. There's a really interesting skid steer attachment that was a stump puller. Like had these vicious looking claws designed for you to kind of, I guess, jam them down the ground, and then you can cut the roots with, and then once you did that you could clamp around the tree stump and just yank it out. I'll lay Man, that thing is vicious. JCB telehandler skid steer, right? The skid steer with the extending arm on it. I forget the brand, but they had like a powered, self-propelled, like big wheelbarrow. Had like a dump bucket on the back. It was like the size of a skid steer, but it had like a dump bucket on the back. You could dump to the sides. I think that was day 3. Yeah, there was a few of those. Stand on the back. There was a stand on the back mower. Several of those. You could put. There was a thing where you could put different attachments on the front and stand on the back, like blades, push blades, brushes. Really interesting to see a lot of the innovations and ideas out there. Almost got this thing at 70%. My gosh. What's the contract on this? 23. That would be the kicker. You do this field and then you don't get credit for it. That's easy dev controls right there. Spawn in a product. Yeah, I think this one's 45 acres. Oh, I think I said north-south. I got the marketing propaganda. I haven't really looked at it this week. Various brochures and stuff. Alright, we'll catch you later. We're gonna close it out once we get this thing filled up. Bring the truck over here and unload into it. Hopefully it's going to be soon. I mean, we've got this section done. We got that section done. We got working on this big section to do. Guess we have this section. I don't know if that's part of field 2 or what. Nope, that's part of field 6. We got that section to do. Then if I was planting this field, I'd probably plant it in 3 fields. Maybe 4. Now I can... Yeah, they look a lot like... they look a lot like the peas do. I can see how it would have issues with this. Especially with this field and this here being part of the, the ditches. This it can work out. This it could figure out because it's all continuous. But, something like that, it's like, are you joking me? Yeah, it's where, AI scripts, they're all good and everything, but you really can't substitute the good old Mark I brain on figuring things out like that. It's like you see field 6 here. Where is it? You see this field and you're like, okay, harvest that field. Right? And you look at it and you're like, okay, I can do that section, this section clearly, and then this section is all together, right? But then if you try to tell someone, right, make a program to figure out how to harvest that field. Well, the logic is probably going to dictate some sort of pathing solution, some sort of math to find the perimeter of the field, and then from there establish the perimeter, and then figure out your pathing solution around that perimeter. But when your field consists of multiple perimeters that don't intersect, then, the program just says, fail. Yeah, another thing that makes the map feel big is the the way the roads are routed, right? You can't get everywhere from everywhere. Right, to get to this sell point, I've got to come out here, and then I've got to either go all the way up to here, then make my way over, or I come out to here, and then I got to go down, over, and up. From here, I've got to come over, over, and up. The road networks can really make maps feel bigger than they are, or they can make maps feel smaller than they really are. Anybody have plans for St. Patrick's Day coming up? Still a few weeks away. That's when isn't Mardi Gras sometime around that time frame? Boss Man Gaming, what's up? Oh, Mardi Gras is over now. I don't know, it's that whole Fat Tuesday thing, right? See how little I pay attention to things. Oh, you're gone, Orleans. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Can I get all the way around this section with 12%? I think I will be able to. Oh, we got a hill we're climbing. here. We're right on the edge of the map. Yeah, that's one reason why I kind of stopped using it. Is it felt like some days it was just you were fighting it more than it was worth. Now I'm thinking I might be able to get back. We got 7% left, 6%. We're almost down here at the bottom. Make the turn back. Hazelnut. Is that a nut? There we go. All right, let's end our Q&A. No. No to the Nutella. I reject your Nutella and I substitute my own form of nut in peanut butter. That's the only nut spread worth it. Oh, 2%. It's right there. Right there. We're going to be able to make it. I have a feeling, nope, we're not going to. I don't know. Nope, not doing it. So close. So now we can look. All right, so these were peas. And these are lentils. They might look different. Peas, Yeah, they look different. Lentils. That is a short trailer. It is the it's the Super B pull trailer. So it is not that one. No. Not this one. No. It is the back one. Not the front one. All right. Let's go close out the one contract and deliver these lentils. RSC scale models. Some of that music came from some of that music came from let's see here. What is that website? Motion Array. I think that's the name of it. Some of that music came from Motion Array. Other music came from Stream Beats, I believe. We need to turn here. I kind of cheated after day one. I just used the same tracks in the same order. And then a quick left. And we are at our restaurant. Unload the peas. Give me a contract complete. Thank you very much. Unload our lentils. And we will collect our money. We got 30% done on the other contract, 44% transported. Alrighty. And with that, guys, we are going to close out the stream. Well, thank you all for coming out and watching again. We're going to be away tomorrow through Wednesday. We'll be hopefully coming back Wednesday evening. So there'll be no Sunday night convoy night, at least not on our channel. Check some of the other guys. Hopefully they'll be streaming Sunday night. And look for maybe a live stream to be scheduled up Wednesday. That'll be pending a map release or anything like that. Hope y'all enjoy yourselves on Edgewater. Should keep you guys out of trouble for quite a long time. Thank you, Avery. And here we are. Of course, there's our starting farm over there to the left. And until next time, happy farming.